an idea of who I'm going to say. It's a really random assortment.
This is the point where I have to like pull up my letterbox and be like, okay,
Yeah.
which are the ones that I love?
I literally just pulled up my letterbox.
This is the one where I actually don't want to get first in the order
right?
we're going in.
Like, I don't want to be first. I want to see the direction everyone's going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, did he not? He didn't even get Oh.
Iconic.
That was beautiful. Damn.
That was really like a good.
Jacob's here. Let's start this thing.
Yep. Sorry.
Welcome to another episode of the Oscar Central podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we're going to continue our missed Oscartunities here by tackling the Best Actor category. First, I'd like to welcome back Kenzie. It's nice to have you back.
Thank you. I mentally took a week off because I didn't like The Northman. But then, wild change of events. I saw it again yesterday. I'm back. I'm an egghead for life. I'm back.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I know. I almost didn't go, but I was like, that Eggs Benedict movie's coming out, and I was like, The Northman's probably going to be gone. So I was like, gotta check it out again. And
you could have went and saw Memory.
Or not.
Or not.
Literally not playing at the theater I went to.
Good.
Because I was like, I wonder what he's up to. And then I was like, it's not even playing. Like, it's not even an option. But yeah, I'm really happy I saw The Northman again. I just want to say, nobody texted me back in our group chat, but question for the group. I have gone to a movie pretty much twice a week since February. I have seen one trailer every single time I've gone. What trailer is it?
Elvis.
I've seen the Elvis trailer once in theaters.
Lightyear.
I've never seen the Lightyear trailer in theaters.
I would guess it was Doctor Strange.
Bob's Burgers.
Oh,
wait, now that
this
you
is
say
true.
it,
Yeah,
you're right.
Wow.
I've never seen the trailer.
I literally Googled it to see, was this movie delayed? And, that's why I've been seeing it for so long. Absolutely not delayed. Oh, this year at least. Was coming out May 27th or whatever, this entire calendar year.
Wow.
Every single time. Alamo Drafthouse, don't know what's going on. Stop attaching it to everything. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, it's not just them.
So the thing is, though,
it doesn't come out for another 3 or 4 weeks.
But the thing is, it goes Crimes of the Future, On the Count of Three, Bob's Burgers, Men. What is that?
One of these things is not like the others.
And the thing is, every single time, the Crimes of the Future trailer is really loud, and then the other ones are kind of mellow, and then for some reason, the Bob's Burgers trailer is really loud.
Oh no,
it's weird.
I don't know. It's just wild.
Oh,
tired of that trailer. Tired of it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the Elvis one. It's literally in front of everything we have.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the Elvis trailer once now, I think.
I've only seen
I see it all the time.
Yeah, the second time I saw the Batman, it was in front of it, and I was like, wow, this is a great trailer, and then I've never seen it again.
I try to avoid trailers as much as I can. I literally text our group chat, Kenzie, was it a good trailer or not? And she'll just say thumbs up, thumbs down. So
I love trailers.
I refuse to watch them.
There's a performance I hope I get to select tonight that has one of the greatest trailers of all time. Only 2 people could possibly know what I'm talking about.
All right. And hi, Jacob. How are you?
Hello. How's everyone?
Great.
Excited. I really kind of wanted to match you with the fan. I wanted to give a moving palm tree behind me.
Okay.
So I wanted to feel included.
But Jacob has his one fan. That's gonna retweet everything. Is that fan?
Yep. That's my person. Someone's tweeted about it.
At Jacob's fan.
Yes.
I'm making the
Well-
account as we speak.
Yeah.
Can you just send me a couple pictures of the fan? Like,
I'll get it.
Kenzie and I are going to joint run this account, actually.
literally.
Returning to the show this week is Dan and Nicole. How are you guys?
Hi. I like that we're like a little
Hi.
package deal.
so
We
funny.
did not plan to be a package deal ever. It just
Yeah.
seems like we are.
All right, so everybody on the panel knows how this works, but if you're listening for the first time at home, basically what we're going to do is two two-round drafts, where the first of 2 round drafts is going to be focused on the actors that were nominated but lost. The second of the 2 rounds will be focused on the best actor snubs. These are the ones that were not nominated at all. This should be a fun category since we are covering Best Actor. There's going to be a lot of Bradley Cooper, maybe a lot of Jake Gyllenhaal, a little bit of everything going on in this episode because neither one of them they both have something in common. Neither one of them have won an Oscar. So
One
with
of
that-
them is going to do the Bernstein pick. The other one is not. Interesting. Sorry to Eric Anderson.
So it's going to be quite an interesting show. I've got a couple of picks up my sleeve, and I'm really hoping nobody takes them. But it is what it is. Like we do every week, I've got the randomizer up, and we're going to make Dan pick a number between 1 and 3 to see who goes first. And
Between 1 and 3?
yes,
Okay, 3.
1, 2, and 3. Our first order of the night is Ricky, Kenzie, Jacob, Dan, and Nicole.
Classic.
Nice.
Classic.
This is phenomenal.
I'm so
Perfect.
thankful to not go first.
Well, see, Kenzie and I were on the air prior talking for a few minutes, and I'm already going to go ahead and just take this one and knock it off the belt here. And I'm going to go with Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler. Hands down, should have won. Not even close. I still don't understand how he lost. And I even told Kenzie before we got on the air that when she brought it up, I was like, every time I talk about this performance, it makes me want to go rewatch the film. So that's probably what I will do. So I love that movie.
I don't blame you for picking that. I am glad that someone else did because I had so many options for this that I made a rule that if I like the person who won that year, that I'm not going to pick one of the other nominees.
Oh.
And Sean Penn in Milk holds a very, very, very special place in my heart. So
Don't blame me. That one hurts.
I'm sorry,
still.
but he's brilliant in that movie. He really is.
He so I've been talking a lot recently about jaw acting because of The Dropout, and he does some incredible jaw acting in that movie because
He does.
he really nails his voice and his mannerisms with his mouth, which was like he was like a public speaker, so we have a lot of footage of him speaking publicly and just he really did like I hate him as a human being, but he really nailed the
Yeah, see, for
performance.
me, like I love this song. Obviously, with my days of being a professional wrestler, like it really, like he nails every single like mannerism possible, which really blew me away, just all the way around. So like it just is an incredible, authentic performance at that too.
If Darren Aronofsky is going to do something, he's going to get a great performance out of someone.
And they're gonna lose the Oscar most times.
Don't say that about Brendan Fraser.
Womp womp.
Kenzie, you are up.
Okay, I won't surprise anyone. I'm just going to start out with a Sophia Petrillo quote. Picture it. February 24th, 2019. Man, it's the Oscar clip. It's him lip syncing and he beats Bradley Cooper. I just literally will never recover. I personally love Bradley Cooper in A Star is Born in 2018. I love every version of A Star is Born, like even the Barbra Streisand. I love them all. So I'm going to select Bradley Cooper in A Star is Born specifically. I think it's his best performance to date. I'm very optimistic about Maestro, given all the Netflix thing going on. I'm concerned about its Oscars campaign, but he has a weird trajectory with the Oscars. And I really thought that at the beginning of 2018, that A Star is Born, which has the greatest trailer in modern history, was going to pay off for him. And it just didn't. I can't believe it won one Oscar. It is shocking, but he's so great in that film. And yes, he gave us a lot of memes, but you know, the Grammy scene could have been his Oscar clip. Like, they did him so dirty. They did him so dirty. I don't know. It sucks that I don't even think he was number 2. Like, I don't think he was number 2. He just like didn't campaign until like January when he showed up at Lady Gaga's Vegas show to sing Shallow. It was a little too late. I just am devastated, just like when I watched this movie for the first time. Pour one out for B. Coops.
Such a great performance. God, I listen to that soundtrack at least once a day.
I'm blown away that he performed at Stagecoach, Coachella, and Glastonbury, and that at Glastonbury he performed during Chris Christopherson's set.
Yeah,
which is just
it's incredible,
iconic behavior. But yeah, I don't know, devastating. It's like obviously a running joke for my life that he doesn't have an Oscar, but what are you gonna do? I'll give him an honorary one. What if that's how he gets an Oscar?
Probably will.
They're like 18 nominations, 0 wins. We got to honor him somehow.
Give him an honorary Oscar. This is for The Hangover.
What?
Don't bring up Todd Phillips.
I love The Hangover. So Jacob.
So I'm going to go. Last week, my first pick was Moneyball. And so I'm going to stay in that realm. And I'm going to go Brad Pitt for Moneyball.
Nice.
I think it's easily, in my opinion, his best role. And I think it's easily, in my opinion, his hottest role. And I like the artist, but I like the artist, but Brad Pitt was so much better. He was just blew me away, still blows me away, that movie in general. That's my first pick.
He got me to care about baseball, which has like not happened to me since Madonna. Like I knew Dan would be the only one to think that's funny. He's so good in Moneyball, and I think that a lot of it relies on like him being charming, because like the way he eats in that movie, and I know it's like a running joke with him like eating in movies, but like the way he eats in that movie is so unattractive, but at the same time I'm like, okay, like, not to quote Bella Hadid, but like he's gonna get it, you know. Like, but he's so good in that movie. He like knows when to play his personality up or down, or just like melts into the background, which is obviously very hard with the dialogue in that movie. But yeah, I love that performance. But I do think if he had been in the correct category, his Oscar win would be better. For anyone listening to this, everyone nodded. I'm not a psycho. Like, everyone nodded. Like, I'm not.
Dan, you're up.
I am. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm looking at this list and being like,
Dan prefacing, I'm not gonna pick anyone if I liked the who won that year. I'm like immediately Googling anyone he picks to double check who won that year.
I don't think I'll get any argument.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get any argument on this one because it's one of the all-time great screen performances. Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It pains me to this day that he didn't win for that, and then he won the next year for a fucking supporting role in The Philadelphia Story because they had to make it up to him because he's so brilliant in that movie. It's a brilliant choice of casting, and he repays that monologue on the floor of Congress.
I'm going to say this now because now that you've picked him for one role, I'm not going to do him for another. But
Okay.
I also believe he got the Oscar for the wrong thing. But I actually give it to It's a Wonderful Life because his performance in that is such a difficult role to pull off because it's a delicate balance, that role of being likable enough for us to like care if he jumps off the bridge. Well,
spoiler alert.
Wait,
yeah,
and that's my problem with that movie. I don't know what it says about me, but I kind of don't care if he jumps off.
Like, but that's the thing. Like, you want, like, I think he does with another actor in that role, we wouldn't have cared at all. But he has to be bad enough that we believe that he needs like this intervention. Like,
he won lead for the Philadelphia Story.
Yeah, that's precisely.
Yeah. And it is a supporting
definition of a supporting role.
Yeah. Okay. He is not the lead in any way, shape, or form of that movie.
Like, if he's the lead, then there's 4 leads.
Yeah, it's no.
At least.
Absolutely not. He is that is a supporting performance, and he won in lead because back then it was, if you are a star, you are in the lead category.
But I think Mr. Smith Goes to Washington would also have been a better choice. So
that monologue that you brought up, it's just so good. And like, you know, when like monologues fall flat in courtroom scenes, I'm like, somebody didn't see this movie. Like, but I was gonna say him later, but I'm not going to because like I just have too many options. In Vertigo, I just adore that.
Vertigo. Movie. He's so good.
That movie so only getting like 2 Oscar nominations and what was like set.
Criminal.
If I had been alive then, that would have been my villain origin story.
Like, you think I tweet about Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born? But like literally, he's just such a phenomenal actor, and like I feel like there are so many you could say for him. And but I
mean, Rear Window too. Like
Rear Window, God, they're
classic Hollywood actors. I think he's the most underrated.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Similar to Brad Pitt, where they're just so stunning, you like ignore how wonderful they are at acting. But they're playing Rear Window at Alamo Drafthouse. If anyone is listening, they're playing it.
Wait, really?
I don't know when in May, but some point. So
okay, I have to go. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Okay, Nicole.
Is it my turn?
It's so funny because I was like, Nicole just went, but that was Nicole's shout out.
Nicole just cheated, is what she did. But yeah, so honestly, I'm on this podcast right now, even though I like maybe should have said no to it because I got back from being on vacation literally like a half hour ago. But I couldn't not come on here and talk about how Adam Driver should have the Oscar for Marriage Story.
Yes.
Because first of all, I think Joaquin Phoenix is a very talented actor. There are several roles I would rather him have that Oscar for,
literally.
Including Come On. There's other stuff too. I mean, her, like, literally any other role.
The Master. Literally, just sorry, Ricky, but any other movie. Anything but Joker.
Never forget when Ricky and I first started doing a show, he brought up that he won for Walk the Line, and I had to remind him that he actually didn't.
Literally anything would have been better. But also I think Adam Driver is like one of the most talented actors working today. I think that he in Marriage Story, again, it's someone who does like a very good job at walking a line of a character being like pretty shitty, but in a way that we still care what happens to him. And I think that, you know, that like big fight scene between his character and Scarlett Johansson's character got memed a lot because it was taken out of context, but I genuinely think it is a fantastic scene. I love that movie so much. I also, like, really quick fun fact, when I was sick, like early 2020 with what I now believe was probably an early strain of COVID, and I had a like bad fever, I laid in bed listening to him sing Being Alive in that movie on repeat, and while doing that my fever broke. So I'm not saying Adam Driver cured my COVID, but I think he might have. So
basically Pfizer should get in touch with this man.
Precisely.
But I was just talking about Adam Driver this morning because literally I can say that any day. But I was talking about one of my favorite Adam Driver moments outside of movies is Martin Scorsese talking about him at Telluride, and like Adam Driver's like on stage, and I can't imagine listening to someone talk about you like that. But every director's obsessed with him, like Spike Lee's obsessed with him, and I'm like, that just says so much about someone to me. And then if you think about like, He's been
all of his co-stars are obsessed with him. Particularly his female co-stars are obsessed with him.
Understandable.
Yep. But I think that says so much about a man that like
if everyone's obsessed with you, like everyone, and
if he makes his female co-stars feel safe, then we love to hear it.
And like I think about like, so I loved him on Girls so much. Like
he's so funny on that show.
He's so
Guys,
funny.
I've never watched Girls, but I found on YouTube someone cut just his scenes, so I've seen every scene he's in.
Of course they did.
There's only one other scene, and it's Christopher Abbott and I can't think of her name. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
But I know her character's name. Marnie singing. Oh my god.
Yes, it's so good.
I watch it all the time, and I'm like, I'm not that embarrassing. But Adam Driver, he's clearly been acting for so long, but if you think about like the directors he's worked with over the last like 8 or 10 years, it is absolutely insane, and he's definitely one of the best actors working
the fact that he came out of like the military and went to Juilliard is so fascinating to me.
Right,
it's very interesting, and then like to be like, oh, he was in the military and look at his career is like what he's chosen to do. I don't know what kind of man this guy is. Like I don't know, but I want to know. Like if he wants
I saw him on Broadway in Burn This, and I met him afterwards. And the fact that he looked like, I told him at the stage where I was like, I really loved your performance in BlacKkKlansman. And he like, he's obviously a very shy person. And he'd been kind of going down the road, just like signing and not really looking up at people. And he looked me dead in the eye and went, thank you so much. And I was like, I could die in this moment, and I'd have done what I needed to here. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, so
I would die.
I had to come here and talk about him. I would die. I'm still recovering, and it happened years ago.
I also like think about when Spike Lee won his Oscar, he like fist bumped or like he like hugged Adam Driver on the way up. I was like, come to me. Let me involved. Let me be involved. Let me in this club.
Yes.
Like, please. Also, how tall is this man?
So tall.
He, like I don't
even know if he's actually that tall, but he has such tall energy.
Okay, because
I was built like a fridge.
I was just telling my husband that Jared Leto radiates short energy, even if he's not short.
Yes.
And I was like, he was like,
Adam Driver has big tall
energy.
energy.
He asked me what's the opposite. And I was like, Adam Driver has tall energy. Like, don't know how tall.
In the words of my little sister, when I once referred to him as a snack, she said, he's not a snack. He's like a whole rotisserie chicken.
Oh my God.
Whole rotisserie chicken.
So now every time we see a rotisserie chicken, we're like, hey, it's an Adam Driver. Yeah. All right. Next round.
I don't know how anyone follows Adam Driver. Sorry, Ricky.
Denzel Washington, Malcolm X. There we go. That's
oh my God. That got everyone.
Yes.
That should have been Denzel's second Oscar. Period. End of story. Yes. He's incredible in that movie. Sorry to Mr. Pacino, but yeah.
We'll get to him later. Earlier and later.
But yeah.
I
Kenzie.
love that. Okay. Well, I don't know why I'm looking at my phone. I made a note and I didn't write anything down. I was gonna go more recent, but we just talked about him. I'll go Al Pacino, The Godfather Part 2.
Nice.
Okay.
I love it. I'm still gonna do that. I was gonna say Dog Day Afternoon.
But Jack Nicholson's so good.
But Dog Day Afternoon.
I know. It's so good. Oh my God.
I'm gonna.
That's a hard one.
I'm gonna say The Godfather Part 2 because Michael just means so much to me. Obviously not on his humanity level, but I love him in both. He's a little wacky in Part 3, but
just a little.
I think like this is like one of our last I don't know. It's such a great movie, and I feel every performance is so great, and I love his chemistry with literally every person he shares the screen with. And I think like he had a harder performance to pull off with the flashbacks, I guess, because you could like feel it was kind of like stealing your mojo in a way. I don't really know, I'm just saying this, but he's just like, I feel like when you're watching him, Michael is clearly like evil, but he's already made the switch. The door has closed in the previous movie. We know what we're getting. And yet every scene with him, I'm like, what is he doing? And I think it just pays so much to his performance. And I feel like he loved Michael as a character so much. And I feel that every time he's on screen. And I think The Godfather Part 2 is better than The Godfather. So ending it on that note.
Pick up.
Okay. I was actually gonna say Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, but I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna go. So this actor lost to someone who was clearly in a supporting role for a movie that would have had 4 leads if he actually was the lead. And I'm gonna go Tobey Maguire, Charlie Chaplin for The Great Dictator.
Nice.
I literally thought you were saying Tobey Maguire, and I was like, what?
I was like, Tobey Maguire was not in Charlie Chaplin. That was Robert Downey Jr., Jacob. Back off.
No, the new Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
No,
I know.
I love his dual performance in The Great Dictator.
Great.
It's one of my favorite, classics. As a history nerd, I love it. And I think if you want to talk about like strong monologues, his at the end still like to this day is so good. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to go with my pick.
I need everyone to remind me I have one person I really want to shout out if no one picks him.
Okay. I'm also going to put in a little quick self-promo. I'm so sorry for doing this, Ricky. If you'd like to hear Jacob talk more about The Great Dictator.
That is true.
We did an episode on my podcast, Petticoats and Poppies, where we talked about that film and the history behind it. So definitely go check that out.
Considering that's like one of the first things Jacob ever talked to me about.
Yeah, we gave him, when he guessed it, we let him pick a movie, and guess what he picked?
Yep.
Amazing. Dan, no pressure. Like no pressure. You're up.
Oh no. Okay. So I went back and forth on this one because normally I like to do like one more modern and one more classic, but I decided for this to kind of not because I feel like the Academy just does not nominate enough comedic performances in this category specifically. And I'm trying really, really hard to pick between 2 of the most genius comic performances of all time here. But I'm going to go with the one that is probably more controversial, but I think it's one of the most perfect performances ever. Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Bold, I like it.
Because he is fucking hilarious in that movie, and also kind of heartbreaking in some scenes, and like it just like the vocal work that he does when he switches out of the Dorothy
jaw
character.
work, people.
Again, the jaw work. And if you hear him talk about like how much doing that role meant to him and how much it opened him up to the experiences of women in the industry, and he gets very emotional about it. So it clearly was something that he carried with him, and he can sometimes be a bit of a method asshole, but in this case, I think he's really brilliant and deserved all the accolades.
I love
but
that.
big shout out to one of my favorite performances of all time, Peter Sellers and Dr. Strangelove.
Yes.
Because like 4, he plays 4 people, and they are each completely different.
So different.
and
my God.
got so many funny lines. I mean, well, how do you think I feel about it, Dimitri?
That movie shaped my sense of humor. Like I genuinely like can pinpoint being like, this is exactly what I find funny. Mm-hmm. And like I remember my mom telling me he was like multiple characters, and I was like, how?
Like what?
How?
Literally how? Yeah.
Yep. I just like, and he just does it so well. The line delivery is perfect every single time. Like
flawless.
I really wish I could have been in the room when they were like discussing like the tone and like how he was going to do it, because it was clearly like a very big collaboration of like, this is how you're going to do this, and like him playing into it.
Yeah.
It's so natural, but at the same time, it's like a performance, which makes it all that much better. And like that's a good one to shout out.
Yeah. And then the other two that I need to shout out are the greatest performance ever committed to screen, Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire.
Nice.
Literally the performance that changed acting in movies forever. And the fact that he lost is a fucking travesty. And the one that I'm a Simple Man, just make me cry, Colin Firth in A Single Man.
Nice.
If he and Jeff Bridges could please switch Oscars, that'd be great. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
I love that performance, and it's something that like I personally get upset when I realize like what Colin Firth's Oscars for. I mean, it's not a bad performance. It's just like like he recently had better. So you're just like, what the fuck? But I think about that movie all the time. Perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna
just the way the color like drains from his face on that phone.
Because I feel like people don't realize that performance is so physical, and like because it's like a subtle physical, like something like that. And I can't wait to see him in The Staircase.
Yes.
Love Colin.
Okay. Same. I'm gonna give two shout outs really quickly. One is I maintain that Tom Hanks should have won the Oscar for Castaway. The fact that most of that film is him acting just with himself is incredible. Obviously, you have like the physical transformation, but I just think like to be able to make a film that engaging when there is no one else there is really impressive.
Literally, I maintain to this day, if he had not won two back to back, he would have won.
He would have won
Castaway.
that.
Yep.
The other shout out I want to give is we could have done a whole question about who should have won instead of Rami Malek. My personal vote is for Willem Dafoe in At Eternity's Gate. Because
one of my favorite Oscar nominations ever, by the way.
Yeah.
And my vote will always be for Willem Dafoe.
I won't hold it against
you. In anything.
I won't hold it against you because Willem Dafoe is the other man I would leave my husband for, if not Bradley Cooper.
There we go. Also, like, I am the biggest Vincent Van Gogh.
Those are two very different options. Kenzie.
I love this for you, Ken.
Wait till you hear the third.
But I'm actually going to go with Robin Williams and Dead Poet Society.
Yes. Yay.
I cannot believe that man never won a Best Actor Oscar. Someone who obviously was gone way too soon and probably would have gone on to win one at some point. I think that performance, I mean, honestly, let's be real. I'm like a pretentious intellectual type that rocked my world as a child. I remember watching it in middle school and just like sobbing. And my classmates
did everybody watch this in school?
I didn't watch it in school, but I watched it in like summer camp while I was in middle school.
They made us watch it in school, but I had already seen it. So I was like crying in anticipation of things. And I remember the girl, I was like she wasn't like my friend outside of school, but she was like sitting next to me all the time. She was like, what's happening? And then like she would watch the movie and then she would start crying. I just remember being like the biggest tell of like something about to happen. Like, talk about a movie, no matter how many times you see it, you just bawl your eyes out.
Every time. Yeah. I'm like, I've been thinking about rewatching it, but I'm afraid to. Yeah. Like, I don't think I have time for that, frankly, for the spiral it could put me on. But yeah, I really wish he had an Oscar for that.
That's a great one. I just want to shout out Michael Fassbender and Steve Jobs. If I talk about the movie, I could go on forever, but that performance is beautiful, stunning work. And I am devastated he lost to a terrible performance. I'm sorry.
Agreed. I also need to shout out, like, he has become a total caricature of himself, but Johnny Depp's nomination for the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is fucking brilliant. And if I'm being
also an
honest,
amazing nomination.
I would have voted for him.
Yeah.
Like, I would have voted for him that year because that is a wholly original character.
I mean,
like,
to the point where they touched the ride. Like, they touched the ride to add him in. Like, that performance is not only like very much Johnny Depp in that character, but it's a performance. It's so layered, and it's like this big franchise movie. Like, you don't expect that. And I love the way his Captain Jack Sparrow interacts with the other characters. It's very different per character, but like, he knows how to do it if like Orlando and Keira Knightley are like both there. It's just like, that movie is like why you like him as an actor. I mean, obviously things have changed and I have muted him forever, but like, what a beautiful performance and what an amazing nomination. Amazing.
That's something that literally you see it in supporting actress, like we saw it with
you
Maria.
never see it in like lead actor.
Never. Yeah.
And like,
you'd be hard pressed to find a comedic performance in general in lead actor.
Yeah.
I do want to say that the Pirates franchise is a franchise that means so much to me, and I'm not a blockbuster person. And the special effects in the one, I cannot think of the movie, but the one with the octopus guy is better than some of the special effects.
Yeah, I think that's the third one.
That's better than some of the special effects I see now. Just saying. Yeah. But bravo to him and his eyeliner. Amazing.
Amen. Yes, best supporting eyeliner ever.
Do you think Keith Richards gave it to him?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, Ricky, I'm scared for round 2. I hope everyone else is.
Godspeed, everyone.
We're just going to reverse the order for round 2. So Nicole, Dan, Jacob.
Okay, good. Because I know what I'm doing. So this will be shocking to literally know when I was listening to the music in the car on my ride back from my vacation earlier today. My first one has to be Oscar Isaac for Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh my God. I was just looking at that.
No one was taking that from me. You would have started
I'm
down.
so glad you said it.
No. It's like one of my favorite acting performances of all time. Just like, I would pick this just for the way that he performs the songs alone, because I think that the way that he like treats those performances as like character pieces, I think is really interesting. But there's so much of this so good in that film, and I'm realizing now that I have thus far picked an entire set of performances that are basically like actors who managed to make shitty characters charming. But I think also like all of his interactions with Carey Mulligan in that film are so good, but also the way that he reacts to everything that Adam Driver's character does never fails to make me laugh. Like the whole bit with that cat.
Outer Space is some of the best line delivery in the history of lines.
It's so fucking funny. It's so funny.
I genuinely believe that Please Mr. Kennedy is the best song ever written for a film. I'm not joking when I say that. But yeah, I love that performance so much. It's probably my favorite like lead actor performance of all time.
It's a good one.
Also, the fact that Oscar Isaac does not have an Oscar. Make that make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I will say this is like my favorite Oscar Isaac being cast as a Jewish person performance. It keeps happening. Don't understand it, but this is my favorite.
As he said, he looks just ambiguously ethnic.
Literally every time he says that, I like look at his filmography and I'm like, nobody knows what to do with him. Nobody knows what to do with him.
It's amazing.
But this is my favorite Oscar Isaac as a Jewish man performance.
I feel like him and Vin Diesel, Ricky's favorite, would be friends, because Vin Diesel made a whole short movie about people not knowing what race he was.
Okay, I was trying to Google Vin Diesel, and I meant to tell Ricky this. So I was trying to Google him to send my friend his song because she had never heard it.
Oh yes,
there it is.
There he is.
And, his song. So I want everyone to try this later tonight. If you Google Vin Diesel space, the first thing that pops up is ethnicity. I was trying to Google Vin Diesel song, so I put the Diesel space, and then it literally was ethnicity, and I was like, no, I want to hear his jam.
The jam.
Like,
it's so
come
good.
on. Like, tell me why I sent this to my friend. She sends me like 9 more back. She's like, look how many other songs he has. Ridiculous. I don't know how this turned into Vin Diesel, but you're welcome, Ricky.
Anyway.
Thank you. Dan, was that your pick, Vin Diesel?
No, it was not my pick.
Oh.
It would not have been if I was going to pick him, it would be for Pitch Black, but we're not doing that.
Pacifier?
No, Pitch Black.
I was bringing up another Vin Diesel movie.
I realized that I was going to do this, and then I decided not to because I have child performances are weird. You never know how much of it is just the talent of the kid coming through versus how well they were directed. But huge shout out to Mr. Jacob Tremblay
Yes.
in Room, because that child, what the fuck?
Dude, hearing his like God, who was the director of Dr. Sleep?
Mike Flanagan?
Oh, Mike Flanagan.
Hearing him talk about the Jacob Tremblay performance where he
Which, by the way, Jacob Tremblay, Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, that where he like freaked everyone out and
Literally
even, like,
scared everyone. He's a child.
So good.
and he like just hopped up and like ran to his dad and grabbed a juice box and everyone's like frozen. Give him better roles, please.
Okay,
This
but like
child.
him in
Yeah.
Room is something that I like. I can't believe that performance. Like watching it, it
Yeah.
is like
Incredible.
and just like thinking about like, yes, Brie Larson was not like, I mean, yes, she had been a pop star, but like she hadn't been like, and we had Short Term 12, but like, you know, it wasn't like
And the United States of Tara.
yes,
Don't forget.
yes. I love
She
that
learned
show.
from the best, Miss Toni
She
Collette.
learned from the best. but then like to see him act on the same level, if not better, is like, and he's a child. He doesn't understand the situation in the same way that like Brie Larson and everyone else on set did. Like he just, that's such a good one because
Crazy.
I'm gonna cry like thinking about
But
him in that
so
movie.
he's not my pick. The one that I was like, that was the shout out because I can't pick him because like youth, but
youth.
I have to do the one where like I was looking through like my list of movies that I've seen on Letterboxd trying to figure out, and I came across this movie. I'm like, which list is like he was nominated for this, right? And I looked through the list of Oscar nominations, and I think right when Ricky started streaming this, I was like,
is that the one
he
you were
wasn't
like,
even
no?
nominated. Is Errol Flynn in The Adventures of Robin Hood from
Okay,
1939, which like
Oh my gosh.
I talk about a person who like set a precedent.
Yep.
He is the ultimate swashbuckler, and it is so charming, and I love that. That has always been one of my favorite movies, and he like that is his defining role as one of Hollywood's biggest stars of that time, and he wasn't even nominated for it, so I'm upset. So
Also,
that is
he
my
looks good
actual
in this
pick.
movie.
He is fine.
So I was
Like,
just
oh
about
my
to say
God.
this. So my mom showed me this very young, and I immediately remember telling her like, "Oh, I like him." And she was
Yeah.
like, "What? Like, come back? Like, what did you say?" Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah. If you have not seen
Core memory unlocked. Thank you, Dan.
if you have not seen this movie, it is old Hollywood at its finest.
Like the pinnacle of like a Hollywood leading man.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
oh my God.
Doing all his own stunts,
Yes.
effortlessly romantic and funny, and yeah, love him.
Thank you, by
Pick
the
up.
way, for saying the year because I didn't have to look it up.
Is it me?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna go. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The poster's hanging up. You can't see it, but it's in my room. One of 2 actors to ever win. I'm pretty sure this is right. Tell me if I'm wrong. One of 2 actors to ever win the Golden Globe for Best Drama in a Leading Role, and not be nominated for an Oscar, and that's Jim Carrey for The Truman Show.
Why the
Oh
fuck
my God,
that?
Jacob! I was literally going to pick that for my second.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so good. And
it bothers me so much that he has 0 Oscar nominations.
Oh, absolutely.
When he should have
Especially
like at least 3.
And it was in a time when it was like he started going for those movies and was so fucking good, and then it's like his co-stars kept getting nominated and not him.
Literally all the time, his co-stars were getting nominated and not him. It's kind of sickening because I'm like, were they acting against a brick? Like, we always say, did the movie direct itself? But like, did the actor just talk to themselves? Like,
he's so brilliant in that movie. I mean, that movie is just brilliant, but he is so good. The way he breaks down in that movie is just, it's so fascinating to watch. And it's one of those things that about that movie that rewards repeat viewings. And you would not have expected it from him at that time in his career. Not at all. I also like, he should have been nominated for that. He should have been nominated for Man on the Moon. Should have been nominated for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Should have probably also honestly should have been nominated for The Mask, because that is
The Mask is
perfect comedic performance.
It's like I don't know how to explain the weight that performance holds on me, but he is terrifying. He's hilarious.
Yes.
He is like everything in the world. And the second they weren't filming, he was like, so what's the next scene? Like really calm and like really like, I adore him. And
he
all
was
of his
like
90s performances. He had like this
I love the cable
90s
guy.
Yes.
The cable guy.
Wait, Ricky, your background, I hate you so much. For anyone listening, he made his background one of my third man that I would leave my husband for. Jason Bateman.
Okay.
I love the cable guy. I think
that
the fucking cable guy is
actually
brilliant.
My type is brunette, tall, whatever.
No, he is like the perfect medium between Bradley Cooper and Willem Dafoe. It makes sense.
The other one is
like the dad of the 3. You know what I mean? He really is. You have the hot, grunky, like the hot guy, like in Bradley Cooper. You have the hunk. You got the William Dafoe, the old guy, and then you've got
the creepy uncle.
The thing is, so the other one is Lee Pace, but the thing is, other than Lee Pace, they all dress like boring old dads. Like they wear.
The thing is that I would like to see a movie with the 3 of, like a remake with the 3 of them of 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh yes.
Can Daisy be the baby?
Exactly. And then you can be on set with her all the time.
All the time. That's why I'm her guardian.
Yeah.
That's why.
Exactly.
Oh my God. No, but I already typed Adam Sandler Uncut Gems, and I didn't even think about Jim Carrey, The Truman Show as
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Kenzie, your turn.
Oh shit. Okay.
I think she just said what she was going to do.
She typed that in for Jacob.
I literally thought that's where I was going.
I'm glad he didn't say it, but I'm sure he still has another turn. So fuck that movie.
Or will he say Ben Platt?
Don't even.
I'll walk out of this show right now.
I am going to go with someone I actually am not a fan of usually, but this movie changed my mind on him. I'm gonna go Hugh Jackman in Prisoners.
Yes.
So I want to clarify. I don't like have a problem with his acting. It's just like he's typically in movies that don't work for me. Nicole
I do.
If him and Matt Damon are together, I'm like, holy water. But I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way. But I do want to preface this. I've met him, and he is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
He genuinely like one of the nicest guys. I
don't want to go into a tangent on this, but he came to my office and he was so nice. He was like, what do you do? Like so curious about what everybody does. I'm like, bro, I've been here 2 months. I don't know what I do. Like, but him and Prisoners, like I personally, I don't know how to watch it now that I'm a parent, but a haunting performance. It's so visceral, but like emotional, but like quiet. I don't know how to explain all the levels he is on, but please work with Denis again. I don't know on what, but something else, please. He's so great in this movie, and I think about his performance every day. And what an ensemble! What an ensemble! What a motherfucking ensemble! Like,
I think
my
about
God.
I think about how good he is in that versus is that my daughter is there all the time. And look, I love Sean Penn, love him dearly as an actor, not as a person, but that is so far over the top. And what Hugh Jackman does in Prisoners is so good.
And like the thing about it is, like, he makes you agree with him, but at the same time aware that what he is doing is wrong.
It's so
and
wrong.
I don't know how you pull that off, but he did. And it's so powerful, and like to make me like Hugh Jackman and pick him first pick says a lot about that performance.
Yeah.
Also, stay tuned for our supporting actor episode where I pick another performance from this movie.
Oh, motherfucking
Gee,
damn.
I wonder who you could possibly be thinking of.
I'm twitching. Ricky, no pressure.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Do I have to pick a movie? Because I could just list them all.
There are so many options.
I'm gonna go Nightcrawler,
which you can see part of our Gyllenhaal list on our website.
Yeah.
Oscar Central.
I love the fight that My Stronger gave. So
that was highway robbery. That was
good and Stronger.
Loved it. He's so good and Stronger.
He's really good and Stronger.
He's fantastic and Stronger. But I'm going to go Nightcrawler. I love that movie. I love that performance. And I just wanted to bring up Jake Gyllenhaal because he should have an Oscar by now.
When you talk about commitment.
Yes. The breaking of the mirror, I feel uncomfortable watching that, knowing like what happened to him. He is absolutely insane in that movie, and it became one of my favorite LA movies, which says a lot about movie. I love that performance so much. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I actually didn't see it at ArcLight. I saw it at the Grove for some reason, but I remember walking out and every single person around us, and like you leave a movie with like not your typical audience, and I remember everyone being like, well, he's winning an Oscar, and I was like, yeah. I remember being like, yeah, you're right. And then he wasn't even nominated.
I love to think in my headcanon, Riz Ahmed was never given like a script, and he just had to react to everything that he was doing.
He's actually, so I just rewatched The Night Of, and then I rewatched Nightcrawler because of our Gyllenhaal Fest, and he is like such a good reactor to things. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like he's obviously just like a phenomenal actor, but the way he reacts to things, it's like that. Like I genuinely feel like he had no idea what was happening, was going to happen. And he just reacts because the way I wrote Gyllenhaal on my notes, by the way. But the way he reacts to Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie is insane. Like also Jake really like committed to the weight loss, which I listen to him talk about, and he's always like, I did it very safely. And I'm like, did you like you're very skinny, skinnier than when you were a child, which we all saw.
Nicole, back on the clock. We're
all
against
right.
the clock. Back on the clock.
I'm going to give 2 quick shout outs before I give my final one. The first is I wouldn't be me if I didn't shout out Kenneth Frana and Much Ado About Nothing. I think it's really impressive. The hottest movie cast of all time. I think it's very impressive, when someone can direct a good performance by them, like of, their own good performance. Because too many actors who direct themselves then don't give good performances because they're not getting direction. But also too, I think it's really impressive when someone can make Shakespeare as funny as it's meant to be. And I think that he does a really good job of that in that. My other shout out is to Peter Dinklage for Cyrano, who should have been nominated over Javier Bardem.
Pour one out.
Pour one out for Peter Dinklage.
Pour one out. My heart.
But I have to go with one of my favorite performances of, honestly, all time, maybe. I think one of the better, like, younger performances I've ever seen, and also one of my favorite films of all time, and also the actor who was my high school celebrity crush, and that is Logan Lerman in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh my God,
Nicole,
my heart.
Yep. He's so good in that, and I think he does such a good job at sort of portraying the mental anguish that the character of Charlie is going through. I think he has phenomenal chemistry with everyone in that cast, but especially Emma Watson and Ezra Miller, he who shall not be discussed.
They
with
who
Paul
shall not be
Rudd,
discussed.
the scenes. Oh, sorry, they. Sorry, but I think his scenes with Paul Rudd as the teacher are particularly like.
They're exactly what I
touching.
pictured in the book. They're exactly what I pictured in the book.
Yeah.
Precisely what I pictured when I read that book. And I really love that. And I think he's one of those actors that, like, we haven't seen him give like a really good adult performance yet. But I feel like he was so good as, you know, in his younger performances that I know it's coming. Also, really quickly, because I know Ricky will appreciate this too. The Oscars that this movie is eligible for have not happened yet, but I know this isn't going to happen. Sebastian Stan for lead actor for Fresh. I would give anything to make it happen. I would give anything to make it happen.
I was just talking to my friend about this movie because I was like, I didn't really like it, but like, I love Sebastian Stan in it. I was like, I think he is perfect in that movie. Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, are you a Sebastian Stan? I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, no one has made that joke before.
No one.
But also, Nicole, like, I commend your strength in not choosing Sebastian Stan in Monday because
I was actually trying not to think that on air. I don't think I have appropriate things to say about that.
So funny.
And it's on the clock.
Okay, it's back to me. Well, Jacob took the one that I was going to do, so now I have to reconfigure. We already shouted out Jimmy Stewart. Shout out to James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
Insane.
Was not nominated. What the fuck? Shout out also to everybody's favorite dad, Michael Stuhlbarg in A Serious Man.
Nice.
Because
Cy Abelman campaigned against him.
Also, shout out to Fred Melamed, who is brilliant. My pick is going to have to be another brilliant comedic performance that does not get its due in any awards, and that is the fabulously foul-mouthed Peter Capaldi in The Loop.
Peter Capaldi.
So one of my favorite movies, one of the funniest movies I think I've ever seen. And like every other line is so iconic just because of the way he says it. Oh, how about I put a little jaunty bonnet on your purview and stick it up your ass with a lubricated horse cock.
His delivery,
so
like,
good.
It could just be like really foul, but his delivery, I'm like, it's quite posh. Like,
it is.
Like, I don't understand. Like,
and it literally sounds like he is coming up with these insults just on the fly. They do not sound scripted. It's
so natural. It's so natural.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really
and then
good one.
When he has that character turn towards the end of the movie, it's such a big dramatic moment. Like, how is he making me feel for this asshole?
That's the thing I love about movies like that, is I'm like, if you make me feel for someone I was rooting against the entire movie until the end.
Yeah. And honestly, to go up against James Gandolfini and literally wipe the floor with him.
I'm wearing a Sopranos shirt.
There you go. The man is a living legend.
Jacob on the clock.
So I want to give a shout out. Dan gave a shout out to one of his best child performances. I'm going to give a shout out to Honey Boy and Noah Jupe.
Oh yeah,
love him in that movie.
My baby son.
I am going to go one of the best chaotic, wild, insane performances of all time, and that is Gene Wilder for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I should have known.
Oscar incoming.
Brilliant.
I'm saving
Brilliant.
Ricky but everyone knows he should have been not nominated for Uncut Gems. Willy Wonka, I mean, just from the very beginning when you first see him and his little like strut through to the somersault. I mean, like from that moment on, you just never know what's going to happen. And he's just the entire time. And I just love it. I think it's probably one of the best performances brought to screen. It's amazing.
Borderline supporting, but
True.
I'll give it to you.
It's the titular
well, they changed the movie.
Titular role.
But that's because they changed
role.
it. Yeah.
Because they knew it was the titular role.
Because he's the star.
Okay, I'm gonna shout out people I hope no one else. Well, Ricky, I don't think you'll pick them. Ethan Hawke, First Reformed, just absolutely, just pour one out. Especially
how did it not happen?
As like I've rewatched it as a parent, that movie just like really messes with me, and his performance is just so emotional and heavy, and it's so internal and external at the same time, just insane. And then I'm gonna shout out James Spader, Sex Lives and Videotapes. I absolutely love that movie, and I've been rewatching a bunch of films that won the Palme d'Or, and just absolutely love that movie. And I don't like James Spader. My friend is obsessed with him, thinks like that's the man she would lay down her life for, and I don't like him, but I love him in this movie and another Palme d'Or winner. But I love him in this movie. So my pick is gonna be one of my favorite performances of all time, the start of my love affair with horror films. Jack Nicholson in The Shining changed my life, like just changed my life. I cannot believe this movie was up for a numerous amount of Razzies, WTF, but
the way he makes you fear for the safety of the other actors.
I literally was like, he killed multiple people on this set.
Yes.
Like please don't sue me. But he's so good in this movie, and it's not the interpretation I would go for the book. Like it is not what I would do, but like I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best performances still I've ever seen, and he is Jack Nicholson. So like, how do you do that? But incredible, love it. I cannot believe this film got paid dust, but
everyone will always say the best line is "Here's Johnny," but when he's going up the stairs and he says, "Wendy, darling,"
oh God,
it's so scary.
Oh my God!
I can see his like putting his lip up, like he like flares his lip when he says it. Oh my God, it's so scary. I love that performance. I love it so much. I don't ever think about the Here's Johnny. Side note: I bought this movie once at a Walmart when I was in 5th grade. In one of those bins.
5th grade.
In one of those bins of like $3.99 movies. I don't know what the price is now.
Wow.
Those bins at Walmart. But it was like the cover, it was like the Here's Johnny with the axe. And I gave it to my friend for Christmas, and her mom sent my mom a strongly worded email that she was not allowed to be friends with me.
That's a baller move, Kenzie.
Few shout outs from me before I dive into my pick. Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips, his best performance.
That last 5 minutes.
DiCaprio, The Departed, should have been nominated for that. Michael B. Jordan, Fruitvale Station.
Yes.
Robin Williams, 1 Hour Photo.
Yes.
Robert Pattinson, Good Time. And last but not least, so we're going to talk, you guys got me in the mood for comedy performances that I loved, and I'm going to talk about the true snub of 2019, and that was the return of Eddie Murphy in Dolomite Is My Name. I thought that performance was brilliant. I love that film. That film doesn't get enough credit. I saw that in theaters. The costumes were brilliant.
Wesley Snipes,
yes. That entire film was just what's her name? Divine
Joy Randolph.
Yes. Incredible. I love Eddie Murphy in that movie, and that's going to be my pick just because I love Eddie Murphy. I think he's one of the funniest comedians of all time. It was nice to see Eddie Murphy back, and that's just something that I've longed for. because as I was an older adult, I didn't see a lot of that stuff I saw in like the early 90s, the stuff that I saw later on in life, and I appreciated it. But you really got to reel back in Eddie Murphy that we had missed for so many years. So Dolomite is a brilliant film.
As my little humble brag, I have to say thank you, Ricky, for getting my family in your nomination. I'm related to the director of that movie, so
you're welcome.
There you go.
Never knew that.
Shout out Craig Brewer. Yeah. Also shout out Terrence Howard, because I forgot to earlier that nominated and lost, because he was brilliant in Hustle and Flow.
Yes, in Hustle and Flow, yeah.
Love Hustle and Flow. But yeah, so that was the show.
Also the way I almost selected Eddie Murphy for The Nutty Professor, because that movie still makes me laugh.
Incredible.
One of the few times multiple performances work in that kind of way.
Except for all 73 Medeas. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. That's gonna be forever a joke with Jacob and I for the rest of our lives. I love you, Jacob, and I'm sorry you had to watch that movie. But Dan, give us some plugs before we gotta go here.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Dan on Film. You can find my writing at Next Best Picture, and you can listen to me and Nicole and some other fun people on the new Awards Watch podcast, which we're recording right after this. So.
Nicole.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna plug that podcast. I still will. I'm still gonna.
The best part is that I wasn't. I forgot.
Tags Eric.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Nicole16. I have link trees on all three. Well, the same link tree on all three. Not personalized ones.
Different branches.
Yeah, exactly. Where you can find the rest of my work at a variety of places, including Next Best Picture and Wealth of Geeks. As mentioned earlier, I also have a podcast called Petticoats and Poppies that looks at period dramas, tries to put my history degrees to some sort of use. And I am now on the new Awards Watch podcast.
Which, by the way, so Dan and Nicole are on, and then Ryan was on last week, and he is also part of it. So if you're listening, please check it out. I'm very excited about it. It's like all my favorite people. So
it's gonna be good.
I'm gonna try and make this episode really good just for you, Kenzie.
Thank you. No pressure. No pressure. Please answer my question that he made me redo.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I'm done. Check out the OscarCentral.com, obviously. And then follow Oscar Central on Twitter at Oscars_Central. And you can find me in St. Louis. That's it.
Bye.
Shout out to Nelly. When Dan said that you could find me, and I was like, I was gonna say in St. Louis, but I didn't want to interrupt him, so I was like, but y'all have a great
I'm
podcast.
finally gonna go watch episode 4 of Ozark. I'm never gonna finish it.
It's so good. I need you to finish it so we can talk about it. I don't have anybody to talk about it with.
Tell my baby to chill the fuck out.
I'll come over and watch the baby. I'll be on the next flight. Daisy,
she keeps waking up. We're like watching an episode. She's like, hello.
Me time.
Literally, I'm like, it's always you time. It's always you time. Yeah. I just want to watch these babies. They're like,
these stupid babies with their demands.
She's like, feed me. I can't feed myself.
Like, where did you get off, baby?
Where? But
incredible.
I'm excited for your podcast. So have fun.
Thank you.
And answer my many questions.
Hopefully, I don't say something dumb.
You won't.
Well, you might not want to show up then.
Hey, you already made it past this one.
She's literally like, the Oscar Central podcast is my test. I got it all out of my system.
Y'all don't even know how much alpha cold and sinus I have in me right now.
Oh, Nicole.
I'm dying.
Take a good. I'm trying to think of what.
It's okay.
Make some tea, naked or like right now.
What they say these days?
Wait, don't think pretending that right.
Wait, actually, so today my friend,
or Eric Anderson for that matter.
My friend was being really dramatic.
Love him dearly, but
My friend was being really dramatic today. I was like, you need to sage your soul. And she's like, well, I drink sage tea because it helps with my sinuses. So maybe try that.
Maybe I need some sage tea.
Maybe.
No, but I'm serious. Like we have 15 minutes. Make it.
Yeah, I am going to go like run and throw my kettle on.
Right. Yeah. Actually, I need to go change my background before I do another interview and pop up with fucking Ozark.
Yes, you too.
No, Dan, I didn't tell you this. Funny. I got over my fucking interview on Friday, and guess who still had Baby Yoda as her background?
No!
That's what you get. Payback's a bitch for making fun of me.
No, I told Jacob, I was like, this is karma for me making fun of Ricky. But I changed it like really quickly. And the guy went, no, bring back Baby Yoda.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Well, that's like, so my Zoom photo is Willem Dafoe. And
yes, I've seen him.
Okay, so it's connected to my work email.
Oh,
so
incredible.
One time I was doing this really important phone call and it showed my picture because it was like on my phone. It wasn't like a video call, but on my phone, I couldn't see that it was Willem Dafoe. It just said KD. And I was like, okay. So I was like talking and they're like, is that Willem Dafoe? And I was like, where? Like outside? Like you saw him? And they were like, no, your photo. And I was like, oh my God, it's because I connected on my computer like with my work email. So it keeps asking me which one I want. And I'm like, I never figure out which one I'm connected to.
I've had that problem.
You're like the one
back when I was working.
Yeah. Literally. But when I'm on my phone, it just shows my initials. And I'm like, okay.
You don't know which is which. Yeah.
But fun fact, they were like, he deserved an Oscar nomination for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I was like, okay.
Anyway. As I said before, I will.
They were like, he's
an Oscar nomination for anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe in the Florida Project. Love him.
Literally.
At the Northman, my sister goes.
He's insane in the Northman. I loved it.
I look over and she goes, Willem Dafoe?
My favorite part of,
Hannah, Willem Dafoe.
My favorite part of the Northman before we go was my friend told me to go see it again. And I was like, you know what? Like I have to honor the studio, like admire the studio because they put
seriously
a $70 million movie into theaters with Willem Dafoe and Ethan Hawke in leather diapers crawling on all fours barking.
I'd say like, I don't know who it was who greenlit this money for this project, but like, thank you for your contributions to the world of cinema because you're not seeing any of that money back.
Never. I don't understand people being like, this was a box office failure. I'm like, you thought it was going to make its budget back?
Yeah, like obviously it was going to be a failure. Come on, dude.
My parents went to go see it in Texas and they were the only people at their screening. And they saw it at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. They were the only people. I love
it.
My parents,
my theater was surprisingly filled. So
so I saw it yesterday at fucking noon on a Saturday, and it was full to the max. And I sat next to some fucking old guy who every time something happened, keep in mind I've seen it before, so I was like aware of what was coming. He's like, wow. So right before the Nicole Kidman kiss, I was like, this guy's gonna freak out. So she kisses him, and he's like, oh. And then when she's like, you will be my king. He was like, oh.
Okay.
When the kiss happened, my sister like yelped. She went like,
the first time I saw it, I brought my legs into my chair. I was like, I don't know what it's gonna do, but like maybe it'll
save me from
So everyone knows we're still live on YouTube.
Whatever.
Yeah.